Hey, what's up guys? So we are back here in Archeworld. We're testing out a brand new microphone for you guys. So please let me know in the comment section if the microphone sounds better, if we need to tweak some settings possibly. But yes, feedback on the microphone. Let's talk about the economy and the labor potions specifically is what we want to talk about here today. Because the labor potions are seeing a dramatic decrease in price, right? So labor potions are all the way down to 2 BSLT currently, and they've actually even been lower than this. They've been low as 0.33 yesterday. Craziness, right? I've also seen as low as 1.0 prior days, 1.5. So a very interesting thing happened yesterday is someone actually kind of bought out the labor potion market and tried to push it up to about 4 or 5 BSLT. They made a post in the Discord as well. And that was, it was cool. It was cool to see someone, speculating, buying out the labor potions. But as you can see, that failed, and it went right back down to this 2 BSLT roughly. And let's talk about why it failed, what's going on with labor, and if I think buying labor potions is a good idea. So, as you can see, we were doing houses, and this is how labor potions get created. They get created via the beds. So the beds in the house will generate labor, and then you spend that labor on coin purses and Archeum machines and other activities in game to provide yourself with, loot or, earn items and such. So as of now, the labor that is being produced by the beds is just actually far too great to the output that is needed. The coin purses only need a small amount of labor potions in this patch. So we've got a different patch than what Asia had when they started the game. And the coin purses here are, the basic ones are still the same. They're about 4, 5, 6 labor potions for those coin purses for like the priest, the noble, the jester coin purses and so forth, right? So those guys cost about 6. But what they did is they greatly changed the amount of labor that is required for the rift coin purses. And then there's also the new Hearthstone coin purse that drops off of the ancestral mobs. The Hearthstone coin purse, I think, is just significantly undervalued. It only takes 10 labor points to actually open a Hearthstone coin purse, and it gives you a crazy amount of rewards. You get about 1,000 of incomplete Archeum shards, and then you also have a chance at getting a purple Archeum core shard. So like the 10 labor points spent on the Hearthstone pouches are just like, whoa, like that needs to change in my opinion, right? So all this stuff is opinions based on what should happen with labor, but in general we can see because the labor potions are so low in value that there's just not enough labor sinks in the game currently, and labor is just not being needed at the rate that it is being produced. Like just the prices alone. There's also the roulette wheel, which is providing labor potions as well. So people that are spinning the roulette wheel on archeworld.com and gambling away over there, they do get labor potions, and that is definitely adding to the supply of labor. But what's interesting is that on Asia, the labor potions are still roughly around 3 BSLT. So like it's not just that, because they also have the roulette wheel on Asia. Another factor is that we have 2 servers connected on the North America server, and there is more housing spots available, whereas on Asia there's only 1 server, and there's a finite number of labor being produced because of those house spots, whereas on the American servers there's 2 servers full of land, and they're not even completely full yet. So once these servers mature a little bit, and these Archeum machines, which are the primary sources of labor burn. See, when you put 500 Archeum in here, it's going to cost you 270 labor to burn this, to process this. When you upgrade these machines, these cost more labor. We'll have an upgraded machine over here in the next house. And so what happens is that as the server matures a little bit, like the Asian server, which is about 8 months old, you'll start to notice that they are burning more labor because of the Archeum machines all being upgraded. So these actually are tier 2 Archeum machines. You can see they got the green dots above them, which signify that they are the grand or rare, the green version of the Archeum machines. They are the empty Archeum. They are, what does it say here? Operator, it doesn't tell us exactly, but it's the green version, which I believe is the grand version. I believe the rare one is the blue version. And so when you put the 1,000 Archeum shards into these machines, they actually now take 540 labor points. So again, once the server matures a little bit, this labor will actually start burning at a quicker rate. Currently, it's very, very, expensive and hard to have upgraded Archean machines because the server is only about 20 days old, a little bit less than that right now. But yeah, we're still in the early days of the server, honestly. So again, as the server matures, these marking machines are going to be draining more labor out of the game. Also, like they did change the coin purses for the rifts. So the rifts no longer take hundreds upon hundreds of labor. There is a couple of rift coin purses, the boss drops, that do take, I think it's like 150, 160, so a large amount. But the majority of the drops that you get from the rifts are only taking around like 20 or 30, labor points to open. It's a very small amount compared to where it was before on the Asian server when that game launched over there around 8 months ago. So with all these factors being said and done, is once Archean machines start getting upgraded, I think we're going to start seeing a dramatic increase in the price of labor potions. So I do think that right now labor potions at 2 BSLT or lower is actually a really, really good deal to actually pick up and invest in. Obviously, this is my personal opinion, and I cannot predict the future. No one can. So just based on my thoughts, though, that the amount of labor that will be burnt in the future is definitely going to be increasing. And if you look at the housing market, you'll see that there's not many small or medium land plots available, at least on server 1. I don't know the exact distribution of land and availability on server 2 because I don't really play on server 2. I do have a character over there that goes and does some housing here and there, but I don't actually check out the game world and the economy too much over there. Even though the economy is tied, the land is definitely a separate economy. So you can check out the amount of land availability by going to the community centers in each zone and checking to see whether there's small, medium, or larges available for rent. And I'll tell you whether it's XL Games owned or if it's just an NFT player owned. So you have the ability to check on these land plots, but just in general, I can see in the server 1 that, and I have checked in the community centers myself, that there's not many small or medium land plots like available out there, whether they're NFT owned or XL Games owned. There's just not many. Like it's almost impossible to find one, right? So people have messaged me and be like, hey, do you want to use all of your land? I want to rent your small, or I want to rent your medium. So like when people start asking those questions, it goes to show you that like, hey, maybe the land is filling up. Maybe there's no more spots available, because if there was a spot readily available for people to use, they would probably be taking it rather than trying to, private message people and trying to like, hey, I want to use your land. Let me rent it from you, or let me buy it from you, right? So the economy is still changing and maturing. And I think that over time that we will see an increase in labor. And also, we haven't seen any events yet. So events like we saw in Asia, a lot of them had to do with like labor burn, right? So you was either craft something, it was go farm coin purses, farm mobs, and then open up this new coin purse that could, drop a land NFT ticket or fragments. So stuff like that we haven't seen yet. And I do think that when we do see events like that are trying to burn out labor potions, burn out labor of the system, that these prices will increase. When they did a land NFT labor event over in Asia, the price of labor potions went from like 3 BSLT or 4 BSLT up to about 10 BSLT for that period. Like there was a dramatic spike of value. And I think that once some events like that start to happen in the American server, I think we will start to see labor potions just skyrocket like that price. It doesn't sound too crazy, right? But if it goes from 2 BSLT and it goes all the way up to 6 BSLT, that is a triple. That's a 200% increase in value right there. You make 4 BSLT on every every labor pot that you bought for 2 and you sell for 6. Granted, there are some fees and stuff associated with that, but just in the basic sense, you made 4 BSLT. You tripled your money right there, 200%. However you want to look at it right there, but yeah, I think that is definitely very, very possible. And so if the labor points get down to like 1.5, I am definitely a buyer on these guys. And even though I have hundreds upon hundreds of labor potions myself, because I have lots and lots of houses, I think I have around 40 houses. So like I have like 500 labor potions, give or take, right now. But I would still be buying and am buying labor potions if I see them at like 1.5 BSLT. You'll notice we don't have much BSLT anymore because we've spent it all on houses and things like that. We've upgraded our character some, and we've also done some investing on certain items. But yeah, I do think that labor potions is a very good and solid investment idea. Of course, do your own research, make your own decisions, because everything is based on your actions, right? So follow your plan, and if you think labor potions are cheap, you don't buy them. If you don't think they're cheap, then just wait. Maybe they'll go down lower, right? So it is a big game of chicken, essentially. You know, is the price good? Is the price bad? We've seen also fluctuations in other items like the purple Archeum core shards. Those things went as low as like 0.7 BSLT, and now they're up to like 0.17, I think. Yeah, 0.16, 0.17. So these things, they got really cheap like a week ago. They got down to, under 1 BSLT. And then all of a sudden people started to buy them. And it's like, hey, that's too cheap. We're going to buy them because we want to upgrade our character and progress our character. And then the price now has, almost doubled in that time frame. Like, they actively sell for around 1.7 BSLT right now. So everything is, like I said, one big game of chicken. Is it too cheap? Is it too expensive? You got to make your own judgments, and you got to decide for yourself, is it a good deal or not a good deal? No one can tell you if it's a good deal or not. It's all up to you, your personal opinions on the matters, and how much you want to risk and invest, right? Because everything has its risk. Nothing is guaranteed to make you money or make you profits. So I always have to weigh the pros and cons of everything. And that will pretty much do it for me in this video. Hopefully the sound quality is good. Hopefully there's no buzzing. And let me know in the comment section. Love to hear from you guys. How is your Archeworld experience? How are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing in general? Have you guys upgraded your character? Are you guys getting to 13k gear score? How's the free-to-play experience? Because I know a lot of you are free-to-play. So love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments your feedback down below. We do pass along feedback to XL Games as well. It's one of the perks of being, the red name supporter in the Archeworld Discord, is that we have a more direct form for communication with the development teams, and the feedback there definitely gets seen and heard. So if you guys have feedback, please post it in the comments, post it in the Discord. We'll pass it on to XL Games. We cannot guarantee or promise anything will actually be done, because they are slow, and they do listen and look at the feedback, but that doesn't mean they're going to action on the feedback. They are developing the game in the best way they see fit and think is going to be, profitable for the long term. They're not thinking, day to day. They're thinking months and years down the line. This game, as I said many times before, is designed for years upon years upon years. This is not like, a cash grab where we're going to do this and shut the server down in 3 months or 2 weeks or 6 months. Like, this is not the plan. The plan is to have a game that is serviced for years upon years upon years. Like, this is the plan. This game is supposed to last many years. That's the idea and the thought behind it. So that's one of the reasons that I'm excited for this. I do think there is potential for the game to last many years. I do honestly believe the game will be here in 5 years. So, am I going to be wrong? Who knows? We don't know. We can't know the future. No one can predict the future. I wish I could, because then I'd be a multimillionaire, grabbing those lottery numbers and winning the lottery and all that stuff, sports betting and all those things, right? You would be filthy freaking rich if you could predict the future. So, again, no one knows the future, and we are just here and enjoying the ride along the way, having fun, and eating that pizza and playing Archeworld. That's what we're doing, guys. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. As always, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you got this far, and I appreciate every single one of you.